What's going on, guys? Good afternoon. Leaman, Griffin here. We're in the Scale Adventure Studio, Project Wraith, Part 3. Starting to look like more of a car, as you can see here. We've got the axles, got a skid plate, transmission, starting to come together. Today we're going to be mounting the front axle. We've got an RC four-wheel drive steering setup with your panhard bar. Running a 3-link. I've actually got to take one of these link bars off. And of course, we're using nothing else. Team K&K's stainless steel hardware kit. It's a great kit for the Wraith here. As you can see, we've got stainless steel already in our transmission, in our drive links. We've got it all over the place, holding our transmission into the skid plate. Great hardware kit. You can check them out on Facebook, Team K&K Hardware, or www.teamknkhardware.com. Link in the description below. Great quality kits, cheap prices, incredible. So check them out. But let's dive in. Let's start putting this axle on. I'm using 1.9s right now in the back. I've got these 2.2s that I'm going to be using, but I'm waiting for my bead locks to come in the mail. Birmingham, Alabama hit a snowstorm. It was pretty bad, but no, it was like 2 inches, but it turned to ice and the roads went all crazy and we were shut down for like 2 days. So hoping the mail's coming today. It's supposed to be in today. It hasn't changed yet on USPS, but when we get that in, we'll show you guys how to mount those. We're going to cut some foams and do all kinds of cool stuff. So let's dig in and start putting this axle on. We're going to go ahead and get started putting this axle on here. We've got our axle pretty much built, as you can see. It's got metal links, C-hubs. It's got the RC four-wheel drive, chassis mounted servo kit, HR cover. It's got the nice high clearance steering link. So we're going to go ahead and bolt it up. Grab our stainless steel hardware here. Let's see here. This toolkit's been great so far. Quick interchange. You can just pop off the heads and put on the new sizes that you want. Let's put this link on here. Oh, I'll show you guys a cool trick that I started to do. If you're looking for some more lowering for your Wraith, if you want to get it lower to the ground without spending a lot of money, these shock mounts and 4-link mounts actually are flippable. You can take them out and flip them upside down. As you can see, this one is in the stock position, so it's kind of raised off of the axle. If you look at the 2 holes, they're above the axle. I've got this one flipped over, and if you look at the 2 holes, they're centered and below the axle. So by flipping this around, it's actually going to lower your truck just a little bit. And it's real simple to do. We'll just pop these bolts out right here. You don't even have to take them all the way out. Just loosen them off of the back nut. And we can take this out. Be careful, there's 2 nuts in here that are going to stay in here. And then we'll flip it around like that. Set it right back on the axle. And tighten these back down. And that right there is the free way to lower your Wraith. It doesn't lower it a lot, but it does just give it a little bit nicer stance. I've done it on all mine, so I'm used to it now. But if you're looking to lower your Wraith for cheap, there you go. So now we got that, we'll go ahead and pop these 4-link bars in here. They're kind of a tight fit. You gotta be really tough and push them in here. Where did that screw go? There it is. Got our Team K&K stainless steel screws again. Pop that through there. Put the nut on the back side. Nice and tight here. Oh. Alright, that was mounted. We'll put this one on real quick. It's coming along quite nicely. I'm happy with it. I can tell you, I had a Wraith a long time ago that I really liked. And it's probably my favorite rig that I've ever had. And I took it apart, disassembled it, got bored, traded it, yada yada yada. And now I'm getting back into it and got to get another one built. The good news is we got to go above and beyond what we had before. Get this last 4-link tightened up, and I'll show you guys how the CMS kit actually modifies your upper 4-link bars. You're actually going to do things a little bit differently. you've got two 4-link bars, and typically you can see in the back here, you're going to use a standard truss mount to mount your 4-link bars right here. Because of this, the CMS kit, you'll actually do away with your driver's side upper 4-link bar. So we'll pop this off here, grab our other one. So we'll go ahead and take this out. Of course, the head of my toolkit here is a little bit rounded, so got to put some heat on it to get it off of here. There you go. I gotta cut this thing down a little bit. It's starting to round off, making it hard to get the screws out of here. Just loosen it like that. I mean, not the best way to do it, but it works. And when it works, you do it. Maybe I'll make another video, show you guys how to refinish the heads of your tools. Alright. There we go. So we got that one off. Now we're running a true 3-link setup, and what you're going to do, this 3-link bar actually attaches just like this to the side of your steering post. So we've got our other stainless steel screw here. We're going to feed it through, and we will screw in here. This is actually going to thread a lot easier because it's going into metal. When it's going into the plastic, you have to kind of force it because these wraiths come with like a rough thread, and we're going with a fine thread with a stainless steel screw kit. It converts all your coarse thread to fine thread, which grabs a lot better. There we go. I'll just snug that down. So now, as you can see, you got your setup. Looking good. We're going to go ahead and put our wheels and tires on here. We'll snip these pins. These pins are probably the hardest thing to deal with. I've actually got metal hubs, and I had to grind them down. As you can see here, they were a little bit, the little tab that sticks out wouldn't clear my wheels. The back side of my wheels doesn't have a big enough opening for them. In here. I'm not going to use the set screws right now because it's just a temporary setup just to hold until I can get my 2.2s in. Where do those wheel nuts go? Let's see what we got here. If I can find some wheel nuts. Here they are. Alright. Put the other side on here. And we'll rotate that around. I'm surprised these pins hold up. I've put my previous cars through some serious abuse, and I've never once broken a not a drive shaft pin, a hub pin. Not once. Might need to knock on some wood, but it's never happened. So pop that in there. And there it is. So now that we have that, we got all that connected. While we're at it, we'll go ahead and put the drive shafts on. I've got some MIP drive shafts for this build. The only thing I had to do different, for some reason, the MIPs come with grub screws, and I don't like the grub screws. They don't last, they back themselves out, yada yada yada. So what I get is a Traxxas part that is a grub screw with a shaft on the end of it. I'll show you guys here. It's a grub screw and it has a little shaft on the end of it. And that works great, except for the fact that it sticks out. When you tighten it down, it sticks out of the end of the shaft. And when that shaft is spinning, especially close to the transmission, mainly on this side, you're going to get, it's going to hit your spur gear cover. So I've done two things to fix that. The first thing I did, see if you guys can see this, I ground out around my output shaft. You see right there, I cut it away. I cut away the cover behind the spur gear. And that's going to give me more clearance. And then also, I took a output shaft, or one of the grub screws, the Traxxas parts, and I cut it down. So you can see the difference here in the length of the two of them. I cut it down so it doesn't stick out of the back of it. So now I got to remember to use that screw on the piece, on the part that goes on the output of the transmission. So we'll go ahead and hook that one up first, I guess. Real simple, just slip it on here. Once it's on, we'll feed the grub screw down through there. And a lot of people use Loctite, and I do recommend using Loctite. It's been a lifesaver multiple times here for me. But for right now, we're not. For right now, I'm just going to put it together for you. Test everything. I'm sure I'm going to be taking this apart a couple times before I actually get it to where it's in, solid running condition. So we'll just snug it down there, and then we can go ahead and take our other end here, slide it on, and we'll back the set screw out. These things are a lifesaver. I seriously, on my last setup, I ran the exact same thing. Not once did I ever run into issues on the trail of my drive shafts breaking or the set screw backing out or anything to that nature. I never had a problem with drive shafts, and that's probably one of the most common thing that people have issues with is their drive shafts. So then put the back output shaft on here, just slip it on just like the front one. I think my son's outside the door here. You can hear him screaming through the house. He finally learned how to make noise. Alright, we'll slip this one on here. Boy, he's gone, isn't he? He's going at it. Alright. Gotta line those holes up. Pop that in. And there we go. Now we have a fully connected drive line. All of our drive shafts in place. Everything looks good. We got plenty of clearance. We're not going to worry about pulling out of the end of the shaft or anything. So let's go ahead and wrap that up. I'm going to keep bolting up a few of these screws. I've got a few more nuts and bolts to put on. In the next episode, we're actually going to start putting the body. We're going to mount the body onto the chassis and start making it look like a car. So thanks for your time, guys, and I hope you guys subscribe so you can see more of these videos. We got plenty more coming.